Today we're blowing the lid off covers. For newbies who are looking for direction and seasoned junk journalists who might be looking for some new ideas, today's topic is all about covers. What can be a cover? It might be quicker if I tell you what can't be a cover, because almost anything can be a cover for your junk journals. The possibilities are endless, and I have a nice little collection here that I'd like to share with you. Starting with book covers. Of course, book covers. No matter the shape or size, a gutted book cover can be a fabulous journal cover. You might want to reinforce this a little bit by cutting a piece of cardboard, bending it, because this has a nice curve in it, bending it slightly and then gluing it down just so that your spine has some strength and it can be intact. This could make a great little journal. Or book covers cut in half. This will make a fine little journal. You have to build a spine and tether it together. If it's not going to be terribly thick, you can hinge it together with tape, Tyvek material, drywall tape. You can hinge it if you don't want it to be very thick. Boxes make great covers because they all have a built-in spine. This is a really good size width-wise for a spine. So you can cut the extraneous parts off. This might work well to have it that way. I think having your signatures in this side and having this nice closure, you'd have to make sure your pages fit right inside that area, but it fits so nicely. I think that would be kind of a cool way to do a journal cover, keeping that piece on. But if you want more of a traditional, then just cut that piece off and all the extra pieces and parts off, and you've got a beautiful, sturdy cover. Food packaging makes a fabulous cover. Again, it's got a built-in spine. If you want, this would be a nice width too, but if it's too big, you can take it apart and then put them together, cut them down, and then reattach them to the size that you want. Cut off all the extra parts. Again, if you want a pocket or a flap, leave that. Glue just here and here, and you'd have a nice inside pocket. Of course, it comes in all shapes and sizes. Longer, skinnier cereal boxes are always at the ready, and they make great book covers. There's always one side that's folded in and glued. Best way to take it apart is right at that seam. There you go. There's your little spine and your cover. Just take your X-Acto knife or your utility knife and a ruler, cut off those nice straight lines. It's already scored. All you have to do is put a beautiful piece of fabric or a collage fabric pieces over it, cover it with paper, cover it with a favorite digikit, all kinds of ways to make a cover from food packaging. It doesn't have to be food packaging. This is my Beasley's Flea Meds. Nice little spine. It's a little bit flimsier, but for a small journal, it doesn't have to withstand a hurricane. Kleenex boxes have great patterns on them. So if you cut just this piece out, you could have and fold it, your spine inside and side, front and back. You'd have a beautiful, ready-made, beautiful cover. All you'd have to do is cover it with a little Kleenex thing. You could cut that off and make even a smaller little journal. You could use like any other box, take it apart at the seams. And this one's going to come apart. That cake box was a ginormous pain in the arse. So, Natasha at Treasure Books has an entire video on what to do with just Kleenex boxes. She has, 25 different way cool things that she has made with these Kleenex boxes, including utilizing these windows. What I like about using Kleenex boxes for projects is they almost always have coordinating material built in. So this could be the cover, and these coordinating colors could be pockets or flaps or tucks or corner tucks or spine reinforcement. It sure comes in handy. I trashed mine because I have no patience this evening for anything that's irritating me. But mailing envelopes, beautiful, beautiful covers. I used a padded paper envelope for one of my favorite projects in the whole world. It's just an Amazon envelope that I tore open and got my goodies out, and then I covered it with some paper. I sewed in I put in some elastic, put in some eyelets, put in some elastic, and then it's traveler notebook style, so I can just take this in and out as it fills up. It's one of my favorite projects ever, and that is a mailer. Mailers can be used as covers. Here's another packaging one. This one has a really kind of a wide, that's too wide for my taste for a journal so small. So what I do is score down the middle, fold it in half, and then put my signatures here and here, and have sort of that. And so as it gets bigger, it can expand. File folders, hanging file folders make great folios. Pam at the Paper Outpost has some really cool, easy to follow, they're exactly the right size. This one happens to be a legal size one. The ones she uses are regular size, and with one cut you get the folio and a notebook that fits right in it from one folder. It's brilliant. This you'd have some extra material, but the same logic would hold. They're pre-scored generally. Fantastic covers to junk journals or journals of any sort. I've seen people do these. I haven't done much with this one at all before, but this is a man's wallet. The old leather, it's worn, so it's got all kinds of scars from life in it. I just folded up some of my coffee dyed paper. I put a hair elastic on it, folded up some of my coffee dyed paper, and tucked it in. I didn't even cut these. I just folded them in, and I think it's cute. I think it's adorable, and it'd be so much fun to fill up. These are drafts from my books. Easy peasy. What's this? Oh, here, some cutoffs. You know, some little tearaways. If you need to jot a phone number down or a license plate or something, you have that. Throw it in a bag, and you have a cute little vintage journal wherever you go. Sorry, this is coming out in whatever order it was in the bag. Another Kleenex box, again, just to show you that the main color and then coordinating. Almost all of them have this kind of vibe to it, so that's pretty cool. Of course, corrugated cardboard makes great journal. It's nice and sturdy, but it's easily cut. It's ubiquitous. This is from canned goods, canned potatoes or canned veggies, whatever. They're in the bottom. It's the bottom of the, usually they have just a little lip on, and it just cut out really easy. That's what these are the bottoms of. So they're exactly the same size. Fold them in half, cut them in half, make your spine. And corrugated, I think corrugated, the craft paper looks so good with bright white paper or vintage paper. It's pretty versatile. Here's a tiny little, this is from Ham, but I just folded it in half, and it has these little flaps. Just fold your paper, staple them in, sew them in if you want, elastic band them in, and a teeny tiny little journal. No one would ever know. Here's what it came from. No one would ever know, that's what it was, but it's just the back of that. Little samples. Either this is little soap that you get at a hotel. I've seen people use makeup. When they get new makeup, they come in really cool little boxes. If you buy stuff from AliExpress, it comes in really cool little boxes. These make fantastic little tiny journals. Or make little journals and make this the treasure box that it lives in. You can put this back together, and it would just live in there. So cute. But again, built-in spine. You just take one side apart and put your little pages in. So much fun. This is the side of a cereal box. I cut off because I use the cereal box for something else. But I folded it up to throw it away. But it folded up so nicely. I thought, well, wouldn't that just be a fun little journal? Either put pages in here and just have that be the cover, or get another one and have it be one of those accordion journals. Just glue another one onto here, and then it would be about almost twice as long, and you just fold it up and have that nice little wrap right around, or that can tuck in there. Cute. That would be a cute little journal. I use steno notepads every day, and when I'm done with them, I tear all the pages out and put them where they need to go. But then I have these covers and bags. This would make a great journal cover, even with that little bit of staining on it from, or vintaging something up fold that in half. Put these together, hinge them together, and that would be a good size. I've seen Eva at Bohemian Crafting do really cool things with these springs and the fringe that you cut off of the pages like this. That's another subject for another day on another channel. Did you ever buy stickers? Look at there. It's got a built-in spine. It's got a built-in flap holder. You know, sew them in here, glue them in here, band them in here, hinge them in here. It'd be fun to do a journal this way, this nice long way, or this way, either one, but a nice different shape, built-in spine, built-in closure. All you have to do is cover it. I think somehow a journal would work in here. I don't know if this would be the cover or not. Certainly it's carrier. Just make a pretty little journal, like with a digikit from My Porch Prints that are basically standalone. You print them off, fold them in half, and they're gorgeous. Have this be its home, not necessarily its cover, because I don't know. Although you could put a band here between the hinges, an elastic band, and band Traveler's Notebook style pages, and you could do that. And it has this nice little snap closure. It's just a box. I'm not sure what Buck Naked Express is. I have no idea. You just push the little button and it opens up. It's nice hard. I just think that would be a nice Victorian, you know, how you would find the things in the Victorian times had these little cases, and everything was special. You know, the special hairbrush and the special combs and the little jewelry cases. Even their little snuff containers had these little closures on, and they kept very close track of it. And I think that would make a precious journal cover. Old journal covers make good journal covers. I tore all the pages out of here. It's kind of sort of a leathery feel. It's embossed. It's purple. I couldn't get rid of it, you know. So you just sew some stuff in. Could reinforce the spine. That's always a good idea, I think, when you're using a gutted book like that. Catalog covers or magazine covers. Some of the good magazine covers are so heavy duty that for maybe not journal covers, but certainly signature covers, the front page of your signatures, make them a little bit hardier than the pages in between. Especially if you're doing 3 or 5 signatures in your journal, it's kind of nice to have something to delineate between signatures, almost like chapter stops. And if you're making just a quick little, maybe a traveler's signature for a traveler's notebook, to have a nice heavy something or other decorated up, it'd be even heavier. That would make a good mailers or promotional goodies. I think this is from Sleep Number Bed, but it has this great closure already. See if I do it right. If we open it this way, then now it has to go this way because they have it upside down. That's how they did it. Anyway, it already has a pocket. Put a traveler's notebook insert in here. Take your 11.5 paper, fold it in half, and you barely have to trim anything off of it. And you could put 10 or 12 sheets, band it in, and then you've got a pocket. You could tuck a smaller notebook in there to go. I could decorate that up. I would leave that though because I think it's so fun. Although I think it should open this way. Who designed that? I would fire that person. I would. Most people are going to open it that way, not this way. Oh well, that's, you know, Krabby Crafter. Look at me. More food packaging. I saw a lady the other day making a journal out of a pasta box, but it had a much bigger window in it. And I've always thought these windows would make such fun journal covers. You know, put something in there, a shaker or dried flowers, or your book plate could live behind there, or your, you know, just the word journal behind there. Somehow utilize the windows in pasta boxes. And they're not always square. Sometimes they're a funny shape. Again, this one has a super extra wide spine. Just miscellaneous things. This was a St. Vinny's haul thing with this way cool little bicycle stationery in it. I love the stationery. I'm going to put that in other journals, but you could put a traveler's notebook style band in here and in here. You'd have pockets. It's almost like a mini lap book decorated up. You don't have to do much to it. Those are the most fun, I think, you know, when they come almost pre-made for you. Paper grocery bags make fantastic journal covers. Big ones, little ones. There's all kinds of videos out there on how to make journals from these. I know Natasha at Treasure Books has done it. Know It Art has done it. Beautiful. And they, you know, they've got that beautiful sound to them. So that's always a plus. Cat Hand has done entire journals with smaller paper bags, lunch bags. Make fantastic covers. I did that little Explorer kit for Leanne's nephew. I'll put a link to the video below. But that was all from a one lunch bag. One of my favorite journals ever is this little guy. And this is made from a bag. And it's just a beautiful cover. Not because I made it, but because I love craft paper and paper bags are beautiful. You know, it's got the torn edge and the rickety edge here. That's one of my favorite parts about paper bags is that crinkly edge, zigzag edge. And by the way, I don't know where else I'm going to stick this, so I might as well stick it in here. Let's do it now. Yeah, let's do it now. So again, I love that zigzag, and none of my tearing rulers that I made make that particular mark. This is pieces and parts from an extra large tinfoil box. I took the cutter, the side with the cutter off, but it's really super flimsy. And I took all the other sides of the box off, and I Fabri-tacked them together because I wanted it to hold, and I put all those clips on so that it would hold. So it has a few layers, at least 2 layers, so it's a little bit less flimsy. And now I have something. It's not exact, but it is zigzaggy. I love it. It was free, except for the glue. Back to our regularly scheduled program. Back to my little bag covered journal. So that goes there, this goes inside there, and it has that little band. But that is a beautiful cover. Opens up. I did sew a signature in this one. 3-hole pamphlet stitched a signature into it. It's got pockets and tucks. I just love this little guy. A notebook. So much fun. Paper bag. Here to here. Card boxes. A lot of you are thrifting lots and lots of playing cards. Sometimes they come in boxes. These are great for little journals. Either journal covers or little journal boxes. Make your little journal and make a house for it. I just think that's such a cool Victorian-y idea. Mailers are great for covers. Put a little one in there and a little one in there, and you've got, look how cute, he's so cute. And you've got something, you know, it's not super durable, but does it have to be? Especially if you're making something to fit into something bigger. This would make a great journal cover, mini journal cover that goes into a larger project. Sometimes you get packaging that is nice and thick. I love this pattern, and it's super sturdy. It's got rounded corners. So I can see a journal. I have to cut it off there, because I can't figure out how to make that work. But I have to cut it off there and round that top corner out. But I see a journal here for sure. Coloring book. This is nice, heavy. Cut it in half, fold it in half, and then it's even sturdier. Once in a while you buy a composition book and the whole thing comes out. Whole thing came out. Doesn't happen a lot, but again, ready-made cover. It's nice and heavy. I could fold it in half. Fold it in half, and you'd still have to trim your papers a little bit. Or if you just did it this way, you trim your cover a little bit. The less trimming in my world, the better. This is the kind of envelope that this is made out of. Actually, it's not. This was paper, and this has plastic in it. But same thing, it would work just as well. And you get that neat sensation. Vitamin boxes. I would use where they're scored, and I would cut it down to the size that I want. These with the built-in spines. Manila folders. The newer ones are so cheap and flimsy, but glue a couple together, fold them in half, and now you've got something substantial that would be a nice cover to your journal. So really, the only limit to covers for junk journals is your imagination, and that's limitless. You can use darn near anything. I'm sure I've not mentioned everything here. I'm sure I've not even mentioned the things that I know about. This is just stuff I've been collecting and collecting whilst I was doing my studio makeover. You take care. Have a lovely, lovely crafty day. Love, 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 love up your beastlies. Look them right in the eye and tell them you love them. And I'll talk to you again soon. I'm going to take out the lake. Oh, for now.